Thank you for joining us for Grannies for Jesus. We'll be here weekly on Fridays on our Facebook page and also on our website as we give tips and encouragement for grandmothers. I'm reminded of your sincere faith, the faith that first dwelt in your grandmother Lois and your mother Eunice, and now I am sure dwells in you as well. 2 Timothy 1:5. You something really special that you do with your grandchildren that you think maybe other people don't do. Uh, Something that's just a special treat that you have loved doing with them and for them. Um, and so, who would like to go first? Who has
I'll share about my
Okay.
youngest grandson. I would always kneel by the bed when I would be putting the children to sleep, and I would hum Brahms' lullaby, la 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 la, and then pray with them. And I would turn the lights down so they would settle down and start getting sleepy. And one night, my first grandson was going to sleep, and he said, "Grandmama, I need to ask you something." And he was 3 or 4 years old at that time. And he said, and my son being a doctor, I thought what he was referring to was open heart surgery, because he said, "Grandmama, how do I take my heart out?" And I thought, that's a strange question, for a little boy. Maybe Scott was talking about open heart surgery. And I said, "Jason, why do you want to take your heart out?" And it was just kind of dim because I turned the lights down. And he went like this. He said, "Grandmama, I want to take my heart out." And it makes me want to cry. "I want to take my heart out and give it to Jesus, but I don't know how to get it out." Because we would be praying to Jesus. And I thought, how many even adults would even think that? And this sweet little boy, 4 years old, wanted to know how could he give his heart to Jesus. And I'll just never forget that, never forget that. But with my grandchildren, when I moved into the town where they're living, they would be over for weekends, and it was so special, and they were young. And the first thing we would do is have breakfast, and then they say, "I live by a playground. Let's go play. Let's go play." And so they would get all ready to go out. And one weekend, Jesus said to my heart, "Janina, where do I fit into this?" And I thought, oh my goodness. So after they had some breakfast, I sat them all on the couch and I said, "Kids, Jesus spoke to my heart. We're busy eating and playing, but we never talk about him. And so we're going to change that. And I want you to all sit down and I'm going to read the Bible." And I thought, oh, they were young. And I thought, they're going to say, "Oh, no." But they were so excited. And I said, and the first thing I did was I asked the Lord, "What should I do? I want this to be exciting for them." And it was Psalm 91, which was my mother's favorite one. And soldiers have this when they go out to war. And it says in the first verse, "These who live in the shadow of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty." And so I said, "Here's what we're going to do, kids." I took all my pillows off the couch and we made a shelter. And they climbed into the shelter. I said, "This is how we are with Jesus. We can be hidden and we're protected." And they had the most time fun with that. And they spent 2 hours just playing, and we were reading the Bible. "Grandmama, read some more, read some more." And that never ended. When they'd come over, we'd be opening the Bible, and 2 hours, these little ones, the oldest was 7, and there were 4 of them. And how the Lord just blessed that. But I'll never forget when he spoke to my heart, I want to be included in you being a grandmother, they being the grandchildren, to be a part of their lives. And they never forgot it. And they even mentioned it today about how we did that. So to me, that was very, very precious. And it continues.
Oh, that's precious. That is precious. I was thinking about there are a lot of little special things that we do with the grandchildren, but I was thinking, I was fortunate. Well, I've been fortunate enough to live really close to my grandchildren all of their lives, and uh, we were all. Uh, uh, I was keeping Mia, who is John, Andy, and Mandy's second child. I'm sure Isaac was there as well. I don't know what was going on, When I would keep her, she was a little, when she was little for a few hours or so, I would sing things to her, Christian songs and all this kind of stuff. I would hold her and sing to her and talk to her about Jesus. And she was little bitty. Well, I had to go with Mandy, was going to the doctor with her, and she asked me to go with her because Annie couldn't go that day. And so I did. And I think Amelia wasn't feeling well, and I was holding her. She was 3 months old. Um, and I was holding her in my arms and I was singing to her. Now, I know this sounds strange, but it's true. I have geniuses for grandchildren. But anyway, but she began to, she had done that for a while. When I would sing, she would sing along. I mean, she would la, 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 like that under her breath. And so the nurse saw us singing. I was comforting her and singing, and she said, "Is that baby singing with you?" And I said, "I think she is." And they were amazed. It was such a sweet time of that input into that little life of comforting her, and there in the doctor's office to be able to comfort her as well, and her singing with me. She was singing with me, even at 3 months old. And she didn't sing any words, of course, but I don't even know I was singing words. I think I was just humming and holding her. But that was kind of a neat thing that happened with us. But anybody else got anything neat that they especially do with their grandchildren? Glenda, I know of one that y'all do that I'm amazed.
Yeah, I was going. We Anna Lee was 9 years old. She's the oldest. She called us on the phone and said, "So, how about me coming over and spending the night with y'all to spend my birthday, to celebrate my birthday?" So we said, "Sure, that'll be fine." And I think she stayed maybe three nights. And so that started a pattern for each child. In fact, John says they would rather do that than go to Disney World. It's like the year event to go to Nani and Papa's house for a week, because there's so many of them and they get real undivided attention. They are the king and queen for the week. So the days extended. Annalie the next year wanted to stay a week. And so we've had to cut it back some because there's so many of them. But that's a real special time where we can really just focus on one child. Lots of conversation that you don't get when they're all together. Not that it's not fun for us all to be together. It's just different. It's a different, things happen that are different when you're one-on-one. So that's been real special. It's been real hard to do that with Kelly's children because they've always been way away from us. But this year, they're all four coming for that week, for that special week. And we'll just and they're older, so it'll be easier to divide them up and spend special time with them. So we've never gotten to do that with Beth and Michael's children. They've kind of come into the family later. And so that's not been something that they would really want to do. But that has been really special. And it was initiated by Anna Lee.
Neat.
God used her to
special time.
That need in her life to want to. Well, and here's the neat thing. We keep thinking as they're getting older that they won't want to do that. Well, Anna Lee's 19. And that's the first thing she talks about after Christmas is, my birthday's coming up in February. So when can I come? So that's been really, really special. Now we had to set some limits. Since she was 9 when we started, Isaac is 7. So he's still waiting for his first turn. When can I come? So that's been real special. And we'll try to do things that they don't necessarily get to do when they're at home. It's really one-on-one the whole time they're here. I mean, they go back home and it's kind of a reorientation back to real life, So that's been special. We're grateful for that.
Seeing what Glenn and Tom did. Hank and I, we were always, when we'd have the grandchildren, we'd have all the one family over to spend the night. I mean, if it was like, Andy would have his 2 and then the 3, and the same thing with John and Beth. And so after hearing this, Hank and I talked and we said, we're going to start having the grandbabies over when they come to spend the night. It's just them. And now I'm not as brave as Glenda. We don't take a whole week. First of all, we'd be broke, but we don't. We don't take a whole week, but we live close by, and so
Yeah.
John and Beth live around the corner, and Andy and Mandy live 7 miles away. And when we first, so we started doing that, and that's been really great. And my grandchildren will say, "It's my turn. It's my turn." And like she said, the two 4-year-olds have just Penny has just done her first spend the night not too many weeks ago, without her siblings. She was a little nervous. You know, she kept saying, "Mimi, am I gonna stay here forever?" I said, "No." And then she'd say, "Do you think my mommy misses me?" I said, "Yes, I'm sure she does." "Do you think Isaac and Amelia miss me?" I said, "Yes, they do." You know, and so when they all got together, you would have think they'd been gone for a year instead of just overnight. But we've done that, and our youngest grandson's not done his spend the night by himself yet. He comes over by himself, but he's not done his spend the night yet by himself, and so that'll probably come soon. But that really is something that we really saw. There's such a different dynamic when they're all here, and when all 7 of mine are here, it's like, oh yeah, it's a lot of people, a lot of children. But if we can have them just one-on-one, and we can really spend time talking and maybe watching a movie they really want to watch and talking about spiritual things, and spending quality time with them, finding out what's going on in their lives. We'll be here weekly on Fridays on our Facebook page and also on our website as we give tips and encouragement for grandmothers.